The Marvel Comics character Sandman, also known as Flint Marko, has a long and complex history within the Marvel Universe. First introduced in The Amazing Spider-Man number 4 in 1963, Sandman quickly became one of Spider-Man's most iconic adversaries. Over the years, his character has evolved from a simple villain into one of the more tragic and multifaceted characters in Marvel's pantheon. His journey, from being a petty criminal to becoming a member of various superhero teams, has seen him struggle with his darker impulses while occasionally striving to be a hero. Flint Marko's origin story is one rooted in hardship and misfortune. Born into a broken home, Marko grew up in poverty, often falling in with the wrong crowd. His early life was filled with crime, and he eventually became a small-time thief. The turning point in Marko's life came when he was exposed to a mysterious experiment in which he was bathed in radioactive sand. This incident transformed him into the Sandman, granting him the ability to turn his body into sand, which could be reshaped and manipulated at will. As Sandman, Marko could solidify his sand form into various shapes, create weapons, and even reform his body after sustaining damage. The character was created by writer Stan Lee and artist Steve Ditko, who wanted to introduce a new kind of villain for Spider-Man. Unlike other supervillains who relied on advanced technology or chemical enhancements, Sandman's abilities were tied to a natural, yet fantastical, phenomenon. This made him stand out in the growing roster of Spider-Man's enemies. When he first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 4, Sandman was a criminal mastermind with the power to transform his body into sand and shape it into anything he desired. He was introduced as a part of the growing gallery of villains that Spider-Man would face, but unlike many of them, he had a depth of motivation that set him apart. While Sandman's early appearances were primarily as a villain, his character underwent significant development over time. One of the most notable transformations in Sandman's journey was his eventual shift from villainy to a more anti-heroic role. In the Avengers comics, Flint Marko would join the team for a brief period, attempting to redeem himself and turn away from his life of crime. His struggle with his morality and his desire to do good were often in conflict, making him one of the more complex characters in Marvel's universe. Despite his best efforts, Marko often found himself slipping back into old habits due to his deep-rooted need for acceptance and his personal failures. Throughout his long history in the comics, Sandman has had many alliances and confrontations with other characters. He has often been a member of various supervillain teams, including the Sinister Six, a notorious group of Spider-Man's most formidable foes.